everybody says F the government, F the banks, F the institutions. So you say that, but you turn around and open up an X Money account backed and owned by banks and Elon Musk, who owns it. And I don't have a problem with any of those things, but the thing is, I have to call a spade a spade. You can't just say F all these institutions, banks, and everything like that, and then just go around and do this. Because me personally, I want to own my money. I want to own my time, and I want to own the energy that I put in to earn that money. So the best asset for me, and hopefully for everybody else that wants to be on the same path, is to buy Bitcoin and, more importantly, move it into cold storage. So now it's yours.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Moon with the Lunas podcast. Today we got Sean Wright, our first guest that we've ever had on here. We're circling back. We chatted with him about the beginning of the year, so now we're at the midway points. He's the co-host of Hard Money Hustlers, Bitwalks, and speak about Bitwalks too. I haven't seen a Bitwalk in a while, so we're gonna need to cover that, Sean. Man, he's just got so much going on in his life. We're just gonna catch up with him right now, talk some Bitcoin. This should be fun. Welcome back, Shawn.
Yes, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me.
Yeah, man, let's go.
Oh, so good. Well, it's so good to have you back and just to kind of hear your insight. I always value all the videos that you post and all the things that you're doing right now. I feel like so much in 6 months happened, And so one of those things was your guys' podcast, Hard Money Hustlers. That's super exciting for you guys.
Yes.
I'm so pumped for you. How has that been going?
It's been going great, honestly. I mean, I feel like we've all came together as a collective. Me, Jordan, Jami, Nolan, Rashad. We all basically we all started off in in a Twitter group chat all together, and it was basically just me, Nolan, Rashad first, and Jordan, and then Jami came around, and I was messaging her on the side because I don't really like just dropping people in the group chats, because I'm just like I don't know how they would feel about it, and I don't want to end up ruffling any feathers. So it was just one day that I was talking to her, and I was like, do you want to join? Do you want to join our group chat inside of our Twitter group chat? She was like, yeah. She's like, but honestly, I don't really be on Twitter that much, so I'd much rather just give you my number. We could just have like an iMessage chat. So then we just moved to an iMessage chat. So we basically we talking there like every day. We usually just be shooting the breeze up in there, whether it's just about Bitcoin, goals, building, AI. I mean, we literally just be in there talking like 24/7. So yeah, they're basically on my family now. So I'm truly 100% grateful for all of them. They've all poured into me as well as me pouring into them. So I don't have literally no negatives to say about them. They are family in my eyes.
Well, that's so cool. I mean, you can tell when you guys are all talking together. It's just like you're trying as many, it's hard to chat with everybody at the same time, but you guys do a really good job of like allowing each other express your ideas and insights, and you can just tell, especially when you're spending so much time together or talking about a podcast or even like coming up with that idea. I mean, I know for us, we're talking about this a lot, like, oh, who do we have coming up? Let's see how we can, what are some thoughts that we want to change, or are we going to meet with some people in the medical field? Are we going to do that? It's like so fun to be able to like chat and bounce ideas, right, with other people. And you guys have such a good chemistry, I feel like, on that show. It's super cool.
Yeah. It's great. Like, we got Nolan traveling the world. We got Jordan, he's like winning like strongest man competitions. We got Rashad. He's getting better with his health, losing weight. You're getting married in a couple months, which is awesome. Congratulations again. And happy birthday. Today is Sean's birthday, everybody. Woo woo, let's go. Jami, she's amazing. I love like her mindset. I don't know, however her brain works, like I just love it. Like, and you just shared right now how she'll just like hop on Twitter barely. She'll like drop fire, and then everybody will be like,
Just
what?
walk
This is
away.
crazy. Walk away. Right? So just drop a bomb, walk away. So I think that's really cool that you guys did that, Hard Money Hustlers. And then I saw you guys recently had Kayla Prilla on there. She's a beast. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
I like
man.
that podcast. She is a beast.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I love what you guys are doing there. Also, I wanted to kind of touch on too. I know you just recently dropped this video on every generation has their wealth building asset. And I thought it was fire, in my opinion. The way you broke everything down. And I would love to just touch on that. We can go ahead and talk some Bitcoin on that too.
Yeah. for me, that was one of the videos. I feel like that would be a video to whenever the time comes and something happens, not inevitably blow up and the page, and then no, I don't even want to say blow up because I don't really care about blowing up. But whenever we get done with the discipline and Bitcoin does what it does, because I already said I'm gonna be out of here. I'm not gonna be on Twitter as much as I am now. So I feel like that would be one of the videos to where when people end up tweeting at me or whatever and saying, Sean, well, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to attain freedom? I'm not gonna be on Twitter, but I have my agent. I have my AI agent on Twitter. I'll link it to that video right there. But I feel like that would be the video that kind of sets the tone for our generation. Well, but by the time 2030 and everything comes, we'll be a little bit older. But the generation after us, I believe it's Alpha, if I'm not mistaken. But for that generation, nothing changes. Now, if anything, the stipulation probably got worse. The money printer will go off regardless. The debt will be, I think we're about to hit 40 trillion. And it'll probably be 45, 50 trillion by then. So if anything, the problem will only be worse for the younger the generation. So whenever I get asked that question, that's why I already said that will probably be the video that it didn't really get the buzz that it had to now, because now people are just more stagnant in their ways and they're kind of just stuck in the doom gloom loop of just national media and just seeing negativity from the wake up at whatever time they wake up to the go to sleep right before they put their phone down. So I feel like that would be a video that just kind of takes off later in life, because I feel like I was just a little bit too early with that. And who cares? I'd rather have it out and then not have it out at all. But basically, just to sum it up, the boomers had the housing, they had cheap housing. So they were able to buy houses for very cheap relative to their income back then. The older millennials, and I guess I could say middle-aged millennials as well, they had the post-2008 stock market bubble and the 2000 stock market bubble as well. What was it? Oh my gosh. Like everybody was freaking out when it switched from 1999 to 2000. Why am I not thinking of the
Y2K?
Yeah, Y2K. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but the Y2K bubble as well. Those two bubbles really helped the millennials achieve a lot of their wealth and their freedom that they had and their purchasing power growth. So with those two things, yes, they achieved a lot of wealth growth and purchasing power growth, but it also attained to more money getting printed as well. So yes, your Robin Hood went to the up and to the right, as I always say, but you're able to buy less things over time. So I say all that for my generation, Gen Z and under, and even if you are a millennial, you can go ahead and buy Bitcoin. But for my millennial and younger, I think our asset will be Bitcoin, just strictly off of the fact that it can't be diluted, it can't be inflated, it can't be printed, and nobody owns it. So everybody says, well, F the government, F the banks, F the institutions. So you say that, but you turn around and open up an X Money account owned by banks and Elon Musk, who owns it. And I don't have a problem with any of those things. But the thing is, I have to call a spade a spade. You can't just say F all these institutions, banks, and everything like that, and then just go around and do this. Because me personally, I want to own my money. I want to own my time, and I want to own the energy that I put in to earn that money. So the best asset for me, and hopefully for everybody else that wants to be on the same path, is to buy Bitcoin and, more importantly, move it into cold storage. So now it's yours. It's not anybody else's. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can steal it from you. It's yours. I mean, I can't explain it no better way than that. So that's basically like the quick rundown of that video.
No, yeah, that's really good. People were gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, wow, Shawn was way ahead of his time, type of deal. I saw it like that as well. And the way we look at it too, it goes back to that you will own nothing and be happy, right? And I think people don't understand how that's slowly integrating, that little chokehold's coming in. They just talked about what iPhones are going to lead them, right? Because once you do the history of something, do the history of the money, then you can see into the future. And we just learned this too with health. Like we'll have an episode coming out soon with health, where once you learn more about our health and how we used to do things back then, it's very interesting on how we do things now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so it's very, very interesting on doing the history. So going back to like, you'll own nothing and be happy. It's very interesting how like it's happening now, and then in the future they're going to be like, hey, how did we not see this? how do we not know this was going to happen?
Yeah.
Also wanted to touch on congrats on getting to 1 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
I think that's amazing for how young you are, how being able to understand the importance of Bitcoin and where we're going into the future. I think that's amazing. As Chris Johnson would say, you know, it shows that you give a fuck, right? And so, congratulations on that, man. Also, would love to touch on, if you can kind of share with everybody, you just dropped a new app, right? It looks like, or a new
Yeah.
website. That I kind of mess with it a little bit. I need to like get more heavily involved, but like if you don't mind sharing that, like that's dope. How
Yeah.
we could just build things out here, right? We could just do things.
Literally. Look, that box, I can't point to it. The box right here, this has been my best investment of 2020. What was that? 2025. I bought it like
Okay.
right at the end of 2025. That Mac Mini has been one of my best investments of for my personal self. But before we get into that, Denominated, that's what I dropped. That's the website that I dropped, and I want to make it into a standalone iPhone app. But the gist of Denominated is that you're able to, and we have a lot of calculators that show you how to price something inside of Bitcoin. But for Denominated, the gist of it is just for somebody to price what they would want in Bitcoin, and then you can actually see how much purchasing power was decreased if you saved inside of dollars for that thing instead. So for example, I have a big panel of just examples, like elder care, retirement, wedding. I think I put I put a Model 3 in there. Basically just a lot of examples of the things that a lot of people just want or will need to have in the future. So for elder care, the average, I think the average median for elder care is like $6,500 a month, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot how much Bitcoin it is. It's like point whatever 000, let's just say 6 of a Bitcoin. And with that, now that we know the CPI track of it, I think it grows at, if I'm not mistaken, I think it grows at 10%. And let me see, I'll pull up the Denominator right here on the side.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, you're pulling that up too. Out
go.
here, I actually worked a year into like Medicare and like Medi-Cal, all that stuff. Medi-Cal's like, I guess it's like one for California for
Yeah.
low income. And so what happens is that I used to actually put people on long-term care, right? There's policies that actually would put people on long-term care. And out here, if you're just putting someone like in assisted living, it's like $10K a month.
It's crazy.
It's
Good Lord.
$10K a month. It's wild.
Indeed.
I would talk to these people when I would help them with their, put them on their Medicare plan. I would talk to their kids, right? Sometimes they're like, hey, talk to my kids. They handle it, blah, blah, blah. I would talk to them. And then I would ask them like, man, this place is super nice. Like, what's the rate at, like it? Cause we live in
It's
Orange County, right?
insane.
And it's insane. These places are super nice and decked out, but like, man, it's actually like an empty house type of deal, because these people, like, they hate it. They hate it there, you know. And then they're like, we're paying all this money. I'm like, how much you pay for it? Because I we're getting into their weeds, right? And so they're like 10, like the average was like 10K a month for assisted living, which is wild.
I shoot, and I was I probably 100% agree with you. I about to say for 10K, I was gonna expect, because the average, that's why I'm pulling up right here. Let me see if I'm able to share my screen. I might just share it out.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. Cool. There we go.
Let's go.
The average elder care amount inside the U.S. for now is $5,419 a month, which is 0.0836 Bitcoin a month. And in the future, if it grows at it grows at an 8.1 a year inflation rate, in the future, in a 5-year horizon, it'll be just around $8,000 a month for your elder care. So with that, Bitcoin currently is at 64,858. And then in the future, let's just say it grows at a 15% CAGR. In 5 years, it'll be 130,452 Bitcoin. And this 15% CAGR is very, very bearish for me, because at 130, I'm expecting to see that before 2030. So this 130 number is very, very low in my eyes. I try to keep it as conservative as possible. But the point being is that you go from today paying 0.0836 of a Bitcoin a month for your elder care to paying 0.0613. So now that elder care just got 26.6% cheaper in Bitcoin terms. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point of Denominated, just to show you how whatever you want to buy in this world with your dollars or whatever you're saving for, or whatever you have to pay monthly, if you use that fiat to pay for it instead of just saving, instead of just saving that monthly dollar amount in Bitcoin, it actually gets cheaper over time for you to live your life. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point. We should want our lives to get cheaper the longer that we live. We shouldn't want our lives to get more expensive the longer that we live. So Denominated really is just it's really just a benchmark to show you how much expensive dollars make your life compared to Bitcoin, instead of living on a Bitcoin standard in Bitcoin terms and make your life. So that's why I usually just say, if you want your life to get cheaper, save inside of Bitcoin. And then you get the skeptics and everything like that, since Bitcoin's in a little consolidation period now. Well, Bitcoin's down 45%. 45% right now. And my thing is, that's cool. So if my favorite shoes were at a 50% discount, I'm gonna buy the shoes. Or if my favorite car, if my LC 500 is at a 50% discount at the Lexus dealership, I'm gonna buy the Lexus today. So it's the same thing. If you want freedom, if you want your life to get less expensive, and there's an asset out there that's at a 50% sale, you should be buying 2 times more of that asset now than when you were at 126 when we were just there. So yeah, that's basically just the gist of the Denominated.
I love that, Shawn. That is so cool. I think it's great for people just to get maybe newer into the Bitcoin space, or are trying to figure out, like, how does this relate to life? How does this relate to our dollar system, the system? I think that is so cool that you created that. Because even for me, I'm like, I'm going to explore that with Anthony and be like, okay, let's play around with numbers here, because that helps me. Because when you're growing up in a system of dollars and all of that, you want to see how this relates, how Bitcoin relates, to make it kind of in, kindergarten terms, if you will, just to be able to have a visual of what's going on here. Right. So I think that's super amazing what you've created.
Yeah. Going back to, it's so funny how human nature is, where if things go on sale and then all of a sudden, like, no one wants to buy. It doesn't make any sense. Like, and then it'll go up to like 126 again or 100K, and everyone's like flooding the gates to try to get in. It just doesn't make any sense. I just got a message yesterday, actually, like, I don't know if these are bottom signals or what, but somebody was like, hey man, you told me to look into crypto and everybody lost millions and billions of dollars. And I'm like, man, I haven't lost a dollar. I haven't lost a dollar since I've been in it. So I don't know what you're saying. I never told you to look into crypto, And so it's just so funny, like how human nature is when it comes to the price action. 1 Bitcoin is still 1 Bitcoin. That's it. Like, what are we talking about, right? And then someone else shared with me the other day. They were like, "Hey, aren't you scared that Bitcoin's going to zero?" I'm like, "Bro, you should be more concerned about the dollar going to zero than Bitcoin going to zero." Do you like when I just hear stuff come out of their mouth? It's just like, man, like, all I want to do is help you, man. I want to lead you to the water fountain, man. But like, nobody wants to drink it. Nobody wants to drink this Kool-Aid that's so good. Right. And so it's just interesting. It's just interesting.
I really think it's human nature too. I think because nobody wants, like how you mentioned, nobody wants to drink Kool-Aid while somebody just poured, quote unquote, poured sand inside of it. Now that we're down 40, 45, 50%. And it's crazy because John talks about it all the time. Just the human nature of people. When you want somebody to succeed and when you want somebody to actually rise up and elevate more than you, they usually take it as a sign of a threat almost. Like they don't want you to level up. They want you to stay inside the same low point that you were at before you got here, right? Like for me, the last year since I figured out money, basically, since we all figured out money, but I was like how Chris always says, we figured out money, so let's figure out every other aspect of our lives, right? So from November till now, I've lost 30 pounds. I lost 30 pounds. I've ended up taking up, I just been taking up a whole bunch of different hobbies, like just building things, like the whole, like all of my stuff with the Mac Mini, the whole AI infrastructure that I'm building up, the home lab that I have down here. You can't see it because the camera's here, but I basically just been trying to solidify and sovereign my life as much as I possibly can now that I figured out money. The money thing really doesn't make my life any better or worse now, because I already know we know what the math is, we know what's going to happen, and we know what the Fed will do. But I say all that to say, people end up seeing that and they're just like, man, Shawn, you switched up. Like, you're not the same person from back at home in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Like, it's like you went corporate on this. And I'm like, so you're mad at me for just growing? Isn't that the whole way of human life? Why would you want to be in the same spot that you were in 2016 and 2026? My life should get better every single time you see me almost. So like even inside the podcast from January of 2026 when we first came on till now in July, I mean, my life did a 10x. So it's like, and I'm pretty sure you all's lives have done 10x as well. So it's like, you shouldn't want to be in that same spot, whether it's short term or long term. Because I mean, obviously, short term is volatility, just like Bitcoin. I mean, there's good moments, there's bad moments, but overall, from January to that next December, your life should be on a upwards and to right path. So. Yeah, I really just think it's a human nature thing. Whenever Bitcoin does what it does, and we're back at 26%, I mean 126K, and basically everything that you bought now in the 60s has done a 2x, basically. People are gonna say, well, you're so low. Why didn't y'all do this? Why didn't y'all do that? No, I sat here, I showed you what to do, and you just didn't want to follow. So now I'm victory lapping around you 10 times over because you didn't want to follow the simple directions of just buy, live your life, contribute to society, and create value. So I can't really do nothing else I can do.
It creates such a simple mindset, right? Because once you really understand the money system, once you understand all, like what Anthony was talking about, kind of the history of it all, and you start really investing into Bitcoin, you understand it. So your mindset is so much more clear and you're not worried about, certain things. So then you are able to then create and make and do and spend time with people who you value, all of that, So I think that's something that I've learned in this process too, of learning more about Bitcoin. It's like everything becomes a little bit more simple and you're not so fear-based, which our society loves, right? People love to live in fear. They love that's, I think, another thing that goes to when it shoots up to, it's when it shoots up to 130 or whatever, or, whenever that happens, that's when people start buying because they're like, oh, shoot, fear. I didn't do this, right?
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting thing. That just came up to me. But I was thinking about that. I'm like, that comes from fear. That's a fear response is, oh, shoot, I'm
FOMO.
late. Exactly. FOMO. Exactly. FOMO.
I didn't even put that together. Like, I was like, you just put a light bulb, man. I did not put that together at all. Like, why people just bundle in whenever the price goes up and to the right. I never put that together at all until you just said that. That was an amazing analogy.
Yeah, that's wild. And then also too, like when you say because once you get the money thing out the way, now you can actually focus on things that matter, your health, right? Oh, let me create this website. Oh, let me bust out this video. Let me do this. Let me go travel the world. Let me go, XYZ. That's once you get the money thing out the way, then you can focus on things that actually matter. And it's just dope. And then when it comes to the podcast, we're just trying to add value. We're trying to help you and get the message out because I want other people to see the light that we saw, right? And so it all comes down to, even personal. People need to just grow personally and just be like, man, you know what? Let me see what Shawn's doing. He's doing this. He's talking this. He got results. He's looking better, right? He's doing this. Let me just see what this guy's talking about and be curious, right? People just need to be curious when it comes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's everywhere right now, right? People are talking about, I'm going to say more people talk about Bitcoin now, but Bitcoin is very bearish, doom gloom right now where people are at, but with their mindset. But again, I love it. Going back to that, Shawn, we hopped on this podcast in the beginning of the year. Bitcoin was 87K. Bitcoin now is 65K. I don't even know where it's at right now. We buying or selling?
I ain't never pressed the sold button in my life. I've never pressed it. And the thing is, this whole price movement has literally been the biggest blessing for me. Yeah, because I wouldn't have been. And I came in when I started really heavily buying Bitcoin at the end of 2024, right before the big old run up to 2020. I meant 2025. The big old run up to 100K. I was like, I literally just made a personal vendetta to myself. I was like, man, if I had to buy a whole coin at like 140,000, I'm willing and ready to do it. So I was I had my whole mindset fully ready to buy a whole coin at 100,000, just grinding it out, just slowly chopping at the bit. So then we go up to 126. I'm like, man, it looks like it's gonna happen. So now we get this big consolidation period down. I'm sitting here, man. I'm like how I always do in my videos. I'm over here doing this. Like I'm excited. I'm like, dude, I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to buy a whole coin in 2021 when we were at these prices already. So I have one more chance to get this right, and I'm not gonna waste it, because if you waste it now, that literally might be it. The same way everybody said, well, 2021's prices might be it. Guess what? We right back here. You literally time travel. Nobody's invented time travel except Bitcoin. This is the only way. This is what I feel like could be somebody's last opportunity to get a whole coin. Because at 126, like how Chris always mentions, that's a year's worth for somebody's salary. But at 67K, that's hopefully a half a year's worth of somebody's salary. It probably is it most likely would be somebody else's one whole year worth of salary. But it's way more doable to get to 60 to 65K for a whole coin than 126, and it's way less daunting. So that's why I'm like, right now my big focus is just pushing out as many businesses as I can, because I have I have like a couple side hustles that I do on the side, and everything that I do goes straight into Bitcoin. I think I save like 20% for taxes and then 20% for expanding on the business that I have. But other than that, everything else goes straight into Bitcoin, because I know what will happen. We already know what's going to happen. We did the research. So it's like you have a second opportunity at life. And no, it's like you're literally playing a video game. You play a video game, you end up falling off the map, and you end up dying in the video game. But guess what? You respawn. This is basically your respawn period right now. So
good.
I'm tired of hearing people say, well, I don't know, Shawn, it might go to zero. This is a big crash. If you look at the whole overall chart in I think it was 2020 when the FTX crash happened, the chart looks exactly the same from 2020 to 2024. It had that big run up, then the FTX crash happened, then it went down, and then it went back up again, and then it went down again for that big consolidation period in 2024, when it was just stuck between like 35 and 45 or whatever, 45, 50. And then after that, that's when it shot up to 100K plus. So I'm not going to say the chart repeats itself, but it's looking very similar. And it looks like we're just right at that consolidation period down, right before it shot back up to 100K. So this time I would be expecting it to shoot back up to 130, 140 plus, whatever the number is. I don't really care. I want more Bitcoin. I don't really care about the dollar price. If I don't have enough Bitcoin, it don't matter. It doesn't matter to me. So
So good. Yeah, I love your mindset around it. I think that it helps people to realize that you can actually create and earn more in this fiat system so that you can put it into Bitcoin, because I think sometimes people feel like, I don't have enough time in the day, or I don't have enough, and I feel like this is such a great example of building capacity. I always say, we have a faith, so I'm always praying for more capacity, because we do have more. Everyone has the same hours in the day, but how people use their hours is completely different, right? Completely. And you're doing so many amazing things right now. Just hearing like, oh, I'm planning on two different businesses. I'm, building an app. I'm, also working. I'm also like all of those things. You're getting married. Like these build. You're showing people that you can build capacity if it means something to you.
Yeah.
It's such an important thing. And I pray for that all the time, because I'm like, we're all busy. We have 3 kids. We have, we have a traditional 9 to 5, we have those. And then we also do our podcast. We also want to, add value to the world, and, seeing ways that we can expand ourselves in this realm too.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. And you're such a great example to people.
Yeah.
Just even your circle, and that's why you guys, Hard Money Hustlers, are such a tight group, because all of you build capacity and show that in how you live your life. And I love that.
To encompass all that, we can just do things out here, bro. We can just do things. It's 2026.
Totally.
Like every excuse goes out the window. We got the internet and we got Bitcoin. Like literally everything goes out the window. That's it.
Like,
Like no more. My pet peeve is when someone's like complains or they're lazy. Oh my God, when they're lazy, oh
dude,
my goodness. I'm like, I'll run the other way.
I'm
Like
gone.
I'm gone. Like I don't understand how someone can like have this, oh man, like I don't got enough time. Like, oh, I got kids. Like that should be the reason why you
Look,
should be making moves. Oh man, I'm unhealthy. Like that should be the reason why you
Yeah.
should be working out.
Yeah.
Like all of these things.
thing.
Yeah, or walking,
Like,
right? And yeah, talking about walking. What's up with big walks, man? Where you been at? Where you been at?
look, I've literally been like how Danielle mentioned, my capacity had just been so grounded into all the other things. But don't get it twisted. I've still been walking every single day. I'm about to say, I can pull up my steps. Hold on, where my, my
Here.
steps at?
We believe you. Don't feel like you have to.
Yeah, we believe the proof of work. You lost 30 pounds, Sean. We
Yeah, I
know.
think
We know you're doing more
you're
than
doing
walking.
something right.
You know? No,
But yeah,
that's
so
what,
we try to. So yeah, every day. I mean, even before here, even today. I took the day off. I took today and tomorrow off. But even before here, I woke up at 6. I usually wake up at 6 every morning and do like a quick little 20-30 minute walk in the morning just for my morning affirmations, my gratitude, and then my morning prayer in the morning. So I try to do all that stuff in the morning just to set yourself up for a good day, even though you might just have the worst day of your life. But guess what? You did what you had to do at the
Yeah.
at the very minimum. So,
yeah.
but yeah, the only thing about the bit walks is I just really I think I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I just want to make sure this is good content. Because if Johnny was here, she would be saying the same thing. She'd be, dude, just post, just do what you gotta do and post. So I have so much stuff just lined up. Like I have literally just videos on videos on videos just inside my photo gallery that I just haven't posted because I don't know what has gone on with me, but I've turned into like a perfectionist. And before, when I first started Bitwalks, I didn't even care. I was just like, I'm gonna just post. I'm gonna just get it in and then I'm gonna edit it real fast and I'm gonna just post it. So I think I just need to get back into that mode of where I don't really care about being a perfectionist while still giving everybody the quality and still giving quality research behind it. But that was really just my thing. I just got into a point where I was like, man, I'm recording all these videos, but is it good enough? And I don't know where it come from because for me, my confidence is through the roof. I mean, nobody can really talk me down off of anything unless it's just like something very dumb. Like I don't even know. It has to be like something extraordinarily dumb for you to talk me out of a decision. So, yeah, I feel like my confidence is through the roof. It's just that I just want to make sure everything is good enough for the quality that I want to give out. Like Denominated, I think I worked on Denominated for a smooth maybe 3-4 months before I even put out a beta version. So now everything's good to go all the way. And we was just stress testing it with like Jordan and everybody else inside the Hard Money.
This episode is brought to you by Microseed. Microseed engraves your entire Bitcoin seed phrase onto fireproof, waterproof steel or titanium. Small enough to fit in your palm, strong enough to last a lifetime. It's durable, easy to hide, and built for secure storage.
If your seed phrase is still on paper, it's time to upgrade and take self-custody to the next level. Because not your keys, not your coins. Go to microseed.io and use code LUNA, L-U-N-A, for a discount. Or check the link in the description below.
I was just chatting a couple other Bitcoin creators as well. So I feel like I've gotten to that perfectionist mode. And I think everybody would just tell me, they're like, dude, just drop it and then just edit it and just adapt around it. I think that's probably the best way for me.
Yeah.
I think because you've been in such a building mode, to build an app or to build a business, there's going to be intricacies and details that you're going to be seeing that other people aren't, and you want it to all flow well because when you want it to be user friendly, you want these things to work out. So yes, the perfection,
Yes.
it totally makes sense that you're in a perfectionist mindset right now.
Yeah.
But you have so much value, Shawn, to share. Like,
Thank you.
because like you have such a great insight and knowledge, and maybe something it might not click for everybody, but it might click for someone. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, even for us, when we started this podcast, we don't know who's listening. I mean, we hope we're adding value, but like at the same time, like, who cares? Like, at least if there's some other, a woman in Bitcoin that like sees me on here, or her husband's on, learning about Bitcoin and she doesn't really know much, maybe it inspires her to be like, oh, there's like partners in this, oh, they're doing something together. And maybe it's just one family that we can kind of help and support in that way, but
Yes.
again, you just got to do it, you know? And I like you said, you already know that you need to do it. It's just but to give yourself some grace too, because I feel like you've been in a perfectionist mindset because you're trying to add value and you're also building something that's so detail oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree as well. I just feel like you just gotta do it. I mean, you just gotta rip the bandage off. And I'm really just talking to myself now. I just think I just gotta go ahead and just rip the bandage back off again. I don't know what happened
Yeah.
between me ripping it off initially and then just slowly putting it back on. But I think I just gotta start from ground zero again. I mean, it's basically I hit a new age. So now I call this day one again. I can call this day one. So
Yes.
y'all basically have just inspired me again just to go in and just post again, just post again, post again.
Birthday
Because
drop. We're just gonna do a birthday
yeah.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
you're
want to
good.
jump
You're
back
good.
to okay, cool. I want to jump back to the topic of just people being lazy and just I hate
Yeah.
to say lazy. I mean, it's a strong word, but people just not wanting to put in the discipline and the work for what they want or what they actually need or what I believe they should have. So,
Yeah.
and what I mentioned with that, when you mentioned that you both have your family, your 3 kids, and you're still able to do everything else that y'all do. And Anthony, I see you on the timeline all day doing your push-ups, doing your exercises. So it's like y'all still have time to do what makes you physically, financially, emotionally, intelligently, smart. And I think that's why I'm like, I don't even like giving myself excuses anymore because I mean, we have Rashad. Rashad has 7 kids and he's still able to post his content. He's still able to buy Bitcoin consistently. He's still able to pay off debts consistently. So it's like, if I sit here inside the chat and I complain and I'll be like, hold on. Rashad literally is doing everything that I'm doing times 7 though. So I can't even, I don't want to even throw my complaints out there because the only person that should be complaining inside that chat is Rashad. So and I hate to sound like, and I don't want to sound like I'm ableist or anything like that. But as Anthony mentioned, it's like we literally have this brick right here with unlimited knowledge inside it. I mean, you can literally just sit on your couch, build something, market something, all the way from the beginning idea all the way to production deployment from your phone or from your laptop. So it's like, I really just hate a complainer and I hate somebody that says, I can't. You keep saying that you can't, and then you're never going to do it. And then somebody else rolls around, takes your idea, because I feel like if an idea is wasted, somebody else is going to have that same idea hit their brain. They're going to push it out and then you're going to see it. Well, he's copying me or she's copying me. No, they took advantage of the idea that God gave them and you didn't. So you can't say that somebody copied you because you didn't take advantage of the idea. So that's why I would just like to say to people, man, just do, literally just do 1%. You don't have to start from beginning here and then finish it out at the end of the day. If you can just go in, do your 9 to 5, do whatever you have to do during the day, and at night, you don't have to even give yourself the full night. Give yourself like an hour block.
Exactly.
Just something that says I did something extra, or like, whether it's just reading a book, like I have these 2 books and I'm finishing up Modern Chains again with my annotations. I love this book so much. And I had Fiat Ruins Anything. I think it's somewhere back there in the living room. But just doing 1 hour a day, just building out something consistently and then just marking it down. Like I have my journal, I have my calendar up here that I just mark down with my notes and stuff like that. So that's why I would say I don't want to see, and I hate to see anybody that says I can't do something, because you're literally telling your brain that my wires in my brain can't do something. And then when you say that, it just rubs off on everybody else. And for me, like how Anthony said, I'm gone, I'm leaving. So I'm not even trying to hear that. And with you all with kids, I don't want to flip the podcast and ask y'all a question.
Hey, we're talking Bitcoin. We're talking Bitcoin.
Okay, cool.
Wherever it goes.
So with you all, with your kids, do you all instill that same mindset with them, like try to alleviate the I can't mentality? Because I feel like with kids, it's the easiest thing for them to just learn good traits and good habits, because they don't have any rubrics to go off of. You're basically the rubric. So when you teach them those good habits, I feel like it just rubs off on them so much more. So I didn't know if you all did something similar for your children.
Yes, I'm actually going through this with our oldest. She's 6, but the other day she said, I can't do this. And I said, and I've always said this because I worked in education for so long, but if you say you can't, you won't. If you say you can't,
Mm-hmm.
you won't. But if you say you can, you will. It's not going to be perfect. But you're going to make that progress, right? You
Yeah.
can't do it yet, And we've always done like the power of yet. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but that's a big like mindset shift for kids, and like a
Mm-hmm.
growth mindset mentality is to say yet, after things. And I think I'm really trying because yes, you can't do it, but you can't do it yet. And especially when you say, I can't go to sleep, I can't rest, I can't, that means that you're telling me you're not going to do those things. So
Yeah.
let's see how we can. I can sleep, I can rest, and then eventually you will, And so
Mm-hmm.
that's just something that we've always talked about. I did a whole last 2 summers ago. I researched a lot about like neuroplasticity too, about like how we can build different wavelengths into our brain
Yeah.
to actually change the way our brain thinks about things. And your brain can move, it can change, you can
Of
tell it
course.
that you can do things, you can grow in capacity, you can do all those things. So it's really important for us, I think, as parents to really instill that in our kids. But in general, even for us, like we're flawed people. There's going to be times where we're like super overwhelmed. There's times where I feel like I am not doing as much as I probably should, but I feel like I'm doing more than what other people are doing. But in you're a hardest critic, right? Um,
Yes.
but it's really important to keep that growth mindset for sure. Like, even reading, like I remember Anthony was like, I've never read a book before. Like I've never read a full book before. And then he just started reading like 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
Yeah.
15 minutes, and it just continued to grow. And I think when our kids see us doing those things by example, we always say like our actions speak louder than words. They don't do what
Mm-hmm.
you say, they do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they see an example of people doing things that are out of their comfort zone, I really feel that instills in them that they can do things too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So in the morning, we do what you do, it sounds like, Sean. So like we'll wake up early, we'll pray, journal, and they see us doing that. And I like that they see us doing that. Oh, read to me, read me the Bible. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll read you my verse or what I'm reading today. And then they're always like, oh, like I'll go to the gym. Like we always will carve time out because that does more for us mentally than
Hmm.
physically. And so
Mm-hmm.
they'll be like, Dad, you're going to the gym? You're going to the gym again? And I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Like go have a good workout, And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, and then sometimes they'll be like, why are you always going to the gym? And I'm like, it'll all make sense when you get older, but I gotta go do this.
Yeah.
It all comes down to doing, and at the same time, like we are always like instilling them because, like you said, at a young age, they're like they soak everything as a sponge. So
Mm-hmm.
the mindset that we had that we developed, from reading books, podcasts, just with finances, everything, instilling these at a young age, I think it's like it's gonna just launch them into the future. They're gonna be like, oh man, like this is so good. It always goes back to me, man, people at private school, they think different than the people at public school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then vice versa. So I was always like, oh man, like a lot of the private school people I know, Danielle's like one of them, right? And I was like, man, they always just seem like they're a little bit like on top of things, right? They're just like
Yeah.
on, you
Not
know,
always.
not always, but I was always like, man, they seem like they had a little bit more of an advantage, right? They had the resources, they had like a different outlook, and I always appreciated that, and so that's why we homeschool our kids, and
Yeah.
so just these little like things, I think that'll just help launch them in the future when they get older, and spending that time together. I think they see that we value like
Time.
always being together,
Hmm.
like we're a unit, like we go and we do things together, we go and we
Mm-hmm.
tackle together, right? We're always together. Like, you're not gonna leave me. Like, we'll go on walks. Like, you're not gonna leave me, right? I'm like, no. Like, let's go. We're all going together as a unit, like family walks. It's funny, man. The kids are
Yeah.
kids are the
Yeah.
best. Kids are the best.
And you're raising adults. You're not
Yes.
raising kids.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you're raising them to become people that can be responsible, kind, servant-minded people, and depending on what your value systems are, obviously, but you're raising adults, and so like that's just something that I always have to keep in mind when we're like super firm on certain things, or we might, and my heart probably is, Anthony's like, no, this is the right move. And I'm always like, dang it, was I too rough on them, But no, I feel like it's very important that we are like consistent with thinking they're not going to be this little. They're adults a
Mm-hmm.
lot longer than they're young.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to make sure that they're capable to navigate the world and give them tools and mindsets and all of that. So, yeah, that's kind of how we we see it. That's a really good question, though, and I'm glad you asked that. It's true. We have to build capacity, and maybe it helps someone that's an adult to really think like, am I pushing myself? Am I thinking of these mindset shifts? Am I thinking of how I can build capacity? Like you said, it doesn't have to be drastic. Like nothing you did happened overnight, you
No.
know?
Yeah.
Like nothing that, we do happened overnight. We're still growing. And if you're not a lifelong learner, what is your purpose on earth? Like, I don't know.
Of course,
I get
100%.
sad for people who aren't like growing in their mind too, in that way. It's interesting.
Yeah, no. And then going back to lazy people, like, do not be lazy. Don't be lazy. Go
Please.
make moves. Go do something.
Yeah.
Like, man, just do anything. Like you said, 1 hour blocks, amazing. Do something. Whether it's reading, whether it's working out, whether it's working on something. Like, there's so many days where like, all right, man, I'm not trying to edit this. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to create this right now. I'm not. But like, once I get into it, now
In
I'm
the
like,
zone.
I'm in the zone.
I'm glad
Like,
I did.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I did. And then even if it was like 30 minutes and I'm like, I'm glad I knocked out that 30 minutes. Also, the fear is working a job forever. So that
Yeah.
scares that like that. I'm
Mhm.
motivated to like learn new skill sets. I'm motivated to like work on our podcast. Like that is just scares me. And
Mhm.
and then I think about it too. Like if I don't do anything, like that is so boring.
Mhm.
Like that's life is so boring. Like I'm just going to work and coming home, I pop it on TV and I'm do like the same thing
Yeah, on
over
that
and over, like
doom loop.
insanity. Yeah, so I
Mhm.
don't know. I always think that it's 2026. There's no excuses. There's kids learning stuff on their phones. They're making money, YouTube. Like, what are we talking about? Like, go out there and
Shoot.
make a move, right?
Mhm.
Well, read a book. Read Modern
Eh,
Chains. Read The Big
literally.
Print. But yeah, so what's up, Shawn? You having kids or what? What's going on here?
No, not yet, not yet. I'm a vicarious learner, so I like to learn from other people's, from other people's successes, other people's failures. So literally, I feel like it. Well, I am a kid. I am at heart. I still feel like a kid myself, where I try to absorb everything that comes to me. So usually, like podcasts and stuff like that. That's probably the most anybody that knows me on like a daily basis. I speak. I just do a lot of listening. I try to listen to hear the best of people, the worst of people, their successes, their failures, their achievements, their losses. And then I end up, I guess, circumventing that and having it come back to me so I can build up my, I guess I can say, build up my mental stack, for lack of better words. So I know what to do in a situation that's similar and what not to do in a situation that's similar. So
Yeah.
that's for me. That's basically for me personally. I literally just looked it up. I was looking it up probably like a couple months ago, and I was like, what is it? Like, what is the name of a person that just learns from other people's experiences? And then it's
Yeah.
called a vicarious learner. So I was
Yep.
like, I had no clue. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's funny. I got to play with some really great football teams growing up, and that
Mm-hmm.
was actually one of my favorite coaches. He always said that. So people who were playing, right, or first or second string, whatever, and other people that were watching or never got to play, he would be like, "Hey, all you guys need to be vicarious learners. Like you need to learn from other people's mistakes and look at your position, because if whatever he does, you better not make that same mistake when you get an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity." And that always stuck with me. I totally agree with you on that. And then also to add, getting married in a couple months. One thing I would talk about with marriage that really helped Danielle and I, that's a staple in our life, is basically most people, they live a long distance relationship under the same roof. They'll leave each other for 8+ hours and then they come back and they give each other their leftovers, right? So
Yeah.
what I would say is basically just go ahead and do something, find something to do as a couple all the time, whether it's like a podcast, whether it's a business, whether it's working out together. Do something together all the time that is not just work or date night. And always do date nights, but
Mm-hmm.
something other than date nights where like you're working on something together. And the reason why I share this is huge for couples because you don't see people running together all the time.
Of course.
And when you run together, I think a married couple on the same page is like an unstoppable force.
Mhm.
And so
100%.
to add on to that, the last thing would be you get to see like when we do this podcast, right? So I get to see Danielle's like strengths and weaknesses, and she gets to see like my strengths and weaknesses. Like, oh hey, like you need to stop talking so much, or hey, you say this word too much, or
Mhm.
X, Y,
Vice
Z,
versa,
right?
yeah.
And vice versa. And so it's cool because then you kind of like sharpen each other's tools, right? With
Yeah.
each other. It's this weird dynamic, right? It's like almost like when you're running a business or working together, you'll see things, you'll see their strengths and you'll see their weaknesses that you wouldn't see if you guys just kept going in the two different directions to your different jobs, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
No,
So that's something.
100%.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
something
that
I would always like, recommend and like do something together and run together. Yeah.
yeah. I'm about to say because that's what we've been doing that since we both basically on the our health and fitness journeys as well. Because my fiance, she's a RD as well, so she's a registered dietitian. So that's basically what she does for a living. She works in a senior care facility right now, and she basically helps with a lot of seniors in their nutrition and their diets and everything like that. So with that though, we basically incorporated that inside of our daily workflow now. Like, so we do our weekly meal preps every Saturday or Sunday. We do our weekly cooking together. Every day we walk 30-40 minutes after the gym together. Um, what else? Her consulting business, her RD consulting business for anybody else that just wants to consult with her. I built her website as well. So I built her website and we interchange back and forth for like what she wants inside the website, what I've done, what I've built inside of there, how it looks. So she's basically like a project manager. She's basically like the project manager
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
her website, and I'm the developer. And it's an inverse of my daily life because I'm a PM, so I'm a PM for developers inside of my job. So it's
That's
basically
so
we
cool.
we did the inverse of life basically together. So yeah, that's
Dude.
That's
man, she's
amazing.
my best friend, man. I couldn't ask for no better person in my life at all.
So
That's
good. And that's great that you're already doing that. And then as your marriage grows, maybe your family grows, God willing, like just continue to find those pockets of that ability to spend time together because it does get a little more challenging. It does become a little bit more uh, kid focused, but really try. There's no kids without you two, right? So it's like you have to spend that time together. We always try to remind each other that too because it'll be chaotic. There's
Yeah.
chaotic days, and
Yeah.
I'm like, same team, same team, same team,
Yeah.
same team. Because really quick, you could start getting like, back and forth, back and forth. You're like, time out. These kids are making us on the opposite team. We're on the same team.
Yeah. Yeah. And also too,
Yeah.
Shawn, so kind of wrap things up too, like, everyone listening, like, going back to laziness, going back to Bitcoin, going back to understanding money, going back to all of this is like squeeze the most out of life. Just squeeze it,
Literally.
squeeze the most out, make the most out of it. Like be tired, go make moves, be in the best shape possible, figure out money, work on yourself, work with your wife, like just squeeze the most out of your one life. And to wrap up all of our episodes, we always like to, let you go ahead and share with us like, hey, someone coming into the Bitcoin space for the
Yeah.
first time, Shawn, and they're just getting their feet wet, they're hearing this podcast for the first time. What is some advice you would give to somebody entering into the Bitcoin space for the first time?
So I was listening to the first podcast yesterday. So I don't want to repeat anything that I said there, but I do feel like I've grown so much in the last 6 months from the last podcast. For me, for somebody that's literally just getting into the space, when I said it originally was just slowly buy increments of Bitcoin first before doing like heavy research. For me, I still would say the same thing, but research wise, just consume what you like to consume. Don't force the consumption of your knowledge, right? So if you like podcasts, if you like listening instead of reading, find you some podcasts, find you the Chris Johnson of the world, the Lynn Allens of the world, the Jack Mahlers, et cetera, et cetera. I can go on for hours, but find you those people who, whatever message reaches you the best, find them, learn from them. And then 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you some type of recommendation for another resource. So when they give you that recommendation, you jump to that resource, you jump right to that resource. So when you do it for so long, you're like, okay, I understand this is a podcast, but like, I want to get a little bit deeper. So then you probably heard of a book from somebody's podcast. Now you're into books. So I feel like don't force the knowledge transfer, don't force the intelligence. Just naturally progress it out. Because for me, I like to force things. So I got to jump into books. Like when I when I really got into heavy reading and everything like that, I didn't really like reading, like how you mentioned, Anthony. It's probably college since the last book I just read from start to finish. And that was just because I had to read it for the pass the class or something like that. So now I'm reading something that I actually enjoy, and it's not really a job no more. It's fun for me. It's a hobby. Like I got my PS5 like right here in the back of my setup. This thing has dust on it. I have not used this in so long, and I'm honestly
Yeah.
probably just gonna sell it for some Bitcoin. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. Your whole mindset changes, and you realize like the things that you used to do for your entertainment, it really wasn't that much of an entertainment booster. It really was just a hindrance. You didn't gain anything from it. So yeah, that's why I would say just naturally progress your intelligence levels for how you like it at first. And even if you like to play games, if you like gaming, we got something coming in the works, game wise for Bitcoin,
Nice.
but so it's coming. So, but even if you do like that, we'll be a resource for that. So yeah, just meet your knowledge where you like to meet yourself at, consume it, and then just go down the whole work tree until you get to a new level of understanding. And then the second thing would just be own your time, your energy, and your money and your technology, please. Do not buy a treasury company if you don't understand what Bitcoin, the network, and Bitcoin, the money is first. Because what's the point of you buying a treasury company if you don't even understand? Well, actually, let me say this. Why are you buying a rep? You're buying a fake of a Jordan instead of just buying the actual Jordan if they're both the same price, right? So why would I buy these DHgate Jordan 11s when I could buy the Jordan 11s from the Nike website that's signed by Jordan, and they're both worth $500? You might as well just spend the same $500 on the legit Jordan 11 instead of the dupe. So
Yeah.
buy hard money, buy hardware, and then own your time and sovereignty. When I say hardware, I mean like your Mac Studios, your GPUs, your graphics cards. I mean, build up your sovereignty to a point where nobody can take your money from you. Nobody can infiltrate your technology. You own your data. Everything that goes into my agent gets stored inside of my Mac Mini and on my cloud network under my VPS. So own your money. Put your Bitcoin inside of cold storage. Lock it up inside of a multi-sig vault if you can. Own your technology. Have your data inside of its own I guess you can say its own system, and then own your time. So once you do the first two things, time just becomes the reward. That's the icing on the cake, because now I don't have to worry about where's my money in the bank, what's going on here, what's going on in the bond market, what's going on in the treasury, how much, or who struck who. Did Iran strike the US today? Did the US strike Iran today? All that stuff is just it's just fluff in the back of your head. So once you own that monetary freedom and that technology freedom, the time freedom is just the icing on the cake. So yeah, that's what I would say. And if anybody has any questions on those two things, any listeners has a question on those two things, please free to hit me up on Twitter, on X, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Please do.
And speaking of that, what's your name on Twitter?
It's Two-Tone Shawn. It's @2 and then capital T and everything else is lowercase. Tone Shawn. And then Instagram, I got my name from middle school and it's still there, but it's Wavy Shawn Jr. So yeah, you can find me on both those platforms.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Shawn, for joining us today. I love just this chat that we were able to have, a very cool, fun, catching up on life chat, and being able to have you back on the show is so nice because it just shows how much we've both grown in this process in the last, 6-7 months here. And we're so excited for your future. You're, getting married. So blessings to you and your future wife and just all the awesome things that are coming your way. We're super pumped for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. I really appreciate you, Shawn. You're our first guest that repeat guest that we had. So it's a big deal for us, and I think we should go ahead and in December we'll wrap up another
Oh,
one.
of course,
So
of
one
course.
whole year, to see where we've gone and where we've grown. Man, you're the best. I
Yes.
really appreciate this. It was fun. And let's go.
Yes, let's go. Thank you everyone to tuning in to the Moon with the Lunas, and we'll see you all on the moon.
Peace. You made it this far, so you might as well hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the conversations we got coming next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the moon.